We're going to the copper mines today. Strange enough, that is not where they mine copper. It was just called the copper mines. They mined pyrite, and they used the pyrite in the war effort, World War I. I don't know how long they mined, because it was not a working mine as far back as I can remember. It was just a big old tunnel and a lot of mining stuff. My granddaddy used to work in the mines when he was younger. I grew up around these mines. You know, I used to work in, when my granddaddy put out chickens, he had a feed mill. We would work in that mill, grinding feed for the chickens or the hogs, and then would run down to the mines and jump in, wash the feed off. You'd swim down there. You know, that was kind of a community gathering place because the road run right by the big old mine. The churches baptized there. I learned to swim down there. People have drowned down there. It's a dangerous place. There's a lot of suck holes. But there's been several deaths down there, so you got to be careful when you're there. Used to, in the 60s, when a lot of people used to steal cars for their motors, you'd find the body of the car in one of those mine shafts. And I have found a stripped and stolen car. It wasn't on the mine property, it was right above there, you know, when I was out hunting. But today, the road is no longer used. It goes through down to the tunnel. Somebody has bought that land and they've fenced it off, so we're going to have to walk down the river if we can get there. But used to, it was a dirt road going in there. When I was growing up, you could meet somebody on the dirt road, and this dirt road was the main road through there. You know, nothing was paved. But once you got down to the mines, it was so narrow you'd have to pull off and let somebody else in front of you come on past it by. Go across the little one-lane bridge. It was just a neat place. A tornado come through and everybody got scared, you know, trying to, where are we going to go hide? So that somebody drove down the mine tunnel, and the mine tunnel, it used to be a real big thing. You could get several cars up in there. Got down to the mines, and the tunnel was full of cars. Everybody else had the same idea, so they just had to turn around and come back home. All right, watch your step. It's slick down through here. It is really slick right there. You barely can see the bridge from here. And right about here was where the dam set when I was growing up. Had the river dammed up and they used the power for the mines, but they tore the dam out. All right, we're having to walk down the side of the river because the guy that bought the mine property has fenced the road off. So hopefully we can get down through here. Watch your step right here. Oh, all right, watch your step here. There's an old big piece of metal that if throw across that little branch, probably come out of one of those mine shafts. Right there's part of some type of foundation. There was buildings and structures all in here. I don't know what has happened to all that. Everything looks different now. See, it's been more than 50 years since I've been in here. Okay, we're in the actual roadbed now. See, when I grew up, this was the actual road that the cars drove on. Went down, crossed the bridge, and come up here, and here's the tunnel. Okay, now see, these bushes wasn't here then, and you could drive up in here. You know, I've drove up in here lots. Because the road come right through there, and on up in here. See, everybody think it's a little bitty tunnel, but it's not. It's a huge tunnel. See how tall it is? And we would drive, you know, to get rocks out of this, to fill in my granddaddy's base of his corn mill. We drove a truck up in here and hauled the rocks out. All right, see what I mean by all these big water poodles? Puddles, not poodles. So I'm getting excited about going up in here. Well, they didn't dump them in here, they dumped them in those mine shafts out there. This is just the main tunnel, this wasn't a shaft. My little flashlight ain't gonna be enough though. All right, see there's the big pillar where it branches off. See, they've left that, I guess, for the support. See, can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I know. Okay, see, you could back your truck right there. See all those big rocks that's loose? We just pick them up, throw them in the truck, and then that's what we would put in the base of the corn mill to keep from falling in. It looks like it's been water coming down. Okay. Really need a really strong flashlight, don't you?
Yeah, it's dark.
It's so high. Yeah, this was, you know, the big party place after they quit mining. I think the drug scene got real bad down around the mine property, and I guess that's one reason why that guy that owned it fenced it off. But of course, you know, fence ain't gonna stop nothing. Look at there. He didn't get the tunnel square when he cut the tunnel. We need to have a talk with that architect. Most people, when you tell them it's not, you know, they're thinking, oh, tunnel, maybe you can stand up in it, and they don't believe me that you can drive a truck. But see, you could drive a tractor and trailer truck up in here. It's that big. I don't see no hole to go on, and my light don't shine all the way to the top. And just a guessing, you know, there's mine shafts straight down all over the property, so I just don't know. I don't know that much about mining, you know, what they're going on here. Because the vein may have played out right here and they went somewhere else. That looks like an old refrigerator. You know, people, I'm sure, have come up in here and camped or whatever. Look at that. Old mine car or railroad track, whatever you want to call it. And see what I mean by it dripping like that? It always drips. Summertime drought, you come up here and it just be dripping from the ceiling like that. That's a piece of history there. I don't know where the train stopped as far as the station, and the main train may have been up in here for all I know. But the bed I showed you, that was a train, not a mine car track. That was a full-size train that would haul the ore out. And that went to Cleveland, where that track went. But as you can see, the tunnel is big enough for a full-size train to come up in here. But how you gonna get it turned around once you get up in here?
And this is what, 30, 40, 50 feet tall?
50, I guess. You know, there's a ledge up there, and I'm not sure where that goes. I've never been up there. I mean, we've pretty much seen the main tunnel. That's as far as we can go. And you can see everything's caved in. If there were any little side chutes or shafts from in here, they're covered up and you can't even see them. People that used to coon hunt and fox hunt down here, their dogs would fall in those shafts. So they got to pinning the shafts in where the dogs wouldn't. You know, you'd go along, just be going through the woods, and all of a sudden there was just a shaft there, just straight down. You'd fall in. Well, I don't know of nobody that fell in, but I'm sure there's people stumble in, near the fell, whatever. I never could get Gail up in here. You know, I drive to the tunnel. You know, you used to drive up in here, and get her right there, and she'd start screaming, "You ain't taking me up in that mine. I ain't going in that mine." And I never did get her up in here. And even in a car, she wouldn't drive up in here. You know, I told you about getting the core samples that used to fascinate me as a kid. I can see one where they've drilled down through it. You know, they drill down and get smooth rock as a core sample, and that break, see right there's where one goes. And that also drill like that and put dynamite in there to bust it out. But the core samples would come out like that, just smooth as everything. I wished I could see one here, because it would still fascinate me even as a grown person. There used to be some sort of mine structure, something right in here. It looks like everything is just caved in. I can't see it. Let's walk down to the bridge. You know, this was the main road coming through this property. Okay, I'm on the old road, but this is where you drove your car. Right down through here. And you could not meet nobody. You'd have to pull off and let somebody ease by you. And that was where you crossed the bridge at, right there. One time there was a whole bunch of us, we was in high school, a whole bunch of boys come up here riding around one Sunday afternoon, and everybody decided they wanted to go in swimming. So they took their clothes off, all except their underwear. Me and this other guy didn't want to go in for whatever reason. They piled their clothes up, so they went in swimming, played around here. We grab all their clothes, throw them in the car, start driving down through there and blow the horn and hold their clothes up. And of course, they jump out, run up through here, and they run down through the road there, get to the bridge, and they're all laughing, cutting up, and we're staying just ahead of them where they can't catch us. So they about to give out, laughing and cutting up, and they don't see this car pulls up behind them on the bridge. It was these two old women, and they pulled up just right behind them and start blowing their horn. You know, they thought it was hilarious, all them teenage boys running around in their underwear. So we take off up the road. We get to laughing so hard we finally let them catch us and give them their clothes back. But down there, that's where I learned how to swim. And that's where the churches would baptize, in that hole right there. There's a little, well, you can see it kind of wide down on that sandbar. You can pull a car right down there. We had a diving board made.
A diving board made?
Yeah, it was. You know, of course, it was just a log cut down and a plank nailed to the log. But it worked. A lot of memories here. Now that is by no means a
Hang on.
municipal water supply. That has to do with the mines.
This has to do with the mines?
Yeah. There ain't no city water back. There ain't no city water back through these mountains. But see, they had to have a dam up there, use the water in the mining operation, and that's part of it. See how the mountain, where the tunnel goes in, it comes down to the slope, and you're looking at the river. The mountain comes right down there, so you took a curve right there in your car and kind of went up the hill. And on the left, right there where those structures about the mines were, I mean, it was a rough go for a car. But it just went right up through there. Let's see if I can find the old road. I guess right up through there, you go up a pretty good hill, and you used to have to go up a hill. Big old rocks kind of ease over it. You couldn't go over 2 or 3 miles an hour in your car. It was so rough. This is part of the old railroad bed that hauled the ore out of the mines. And the railroad went to Cleveland. That's how they hauled it out. I can't remember when the tracks were there. You know, the railroad bed has always been there. And I was looking for the old concrete buildings. Used to be, you could go up the road and look down in the hole here, and you see all those buildings. Of course, the wood part was rotted down then, but you could still see the concrete structures, but I don't even see them now. You know, there again, it's been so long. See, I see one of those old buildings. All you can see is the base of it. Let me see if I can crawl in there. Look at it. It's all growed up. You know, when I was little, there was no trees here. The bases of these buildings were here. The wood part was gone at that point, but you could still see the building. You can't see them now. All you can see is the foundation, looks like. See all that? And what they were used for, I don't know, because in the 50s and 60s when I would come in here, it wasn't in operation then. There's a chimney down there that when I was a kid, I always wanted to go in, and nobody would never let me. So one day I said something about it. Me and my granddaddy was riding down through here, and he just slammed on it. Well, go up in there. So he waited while I climbed the bank and walked back up in there, and there it is. Over there. He said, it don't go nowhere. Like I said, he worked in the mine, so he knew. He was right, it didn't go nowhere. It just went a little ways back through there. But I got to crawl in there. But that was neat. And it just looked like a chimney. I don't know what it's for. And he didn't tell me.